I mean, the commentary is good. The guidance is a bit conservative, want to be conservative, but we'll see. Chola right now about 1.25% higher. The market's absolutely flat, 13, 14 point change, so not very much going on. Look at something like a Supreme Industries. It's one of those completely not bombed out stocks, but it's not done very well for a long time, but starting to make a move. 3 days in a trot now. It's up another 3%. Yesterday was a good day. Day before was a very large day. It reported numbers which were not all that great as well, but stock is moving as we speak. All right, let's move on and talk to Kansai Nerolac, which is the next company which we're speaking with on earnings. Revenues grew 19% in the quarter, aided by revival in auto demand. But the decorative paints business was muted. That's the high margin business, something the management believes could continue into the third quarter as well. Anuj Jain is Managing Director at Kansai Nerolac Paints. Anuj, good to have you with us here. Thank you very much for your time. So let's just start there. What kind of, first of all, in the decorative segment, what was the volume growth? What are you expecting in the third quarter? Because, sort of rains extended all the way into October, right? Late October in some areas, some parts of the country. So Q3 should also be muted. If you can provide us with some numbers, what's the expectation?
Yeah, so in decorative business, the value growth was about double digit, and volume growth was on the lower side. And yes, the extended monsoons affected because last year Diwali was in the month of November, and generally for last 2-3 years we are seeing a trend that the rains continue till October, and this time it was continued till 15th of October. So I think to that an extent, even the month of October got impacted. So I think this year, when we look at this particular year, I think the growth factors in the quarters would be a little lopsided. So maybe 2 quarters are good, 2 quarters are not so good, but overall year would be okay.
Mr. Jain, so when you say the volume growth is on the lower side in the decoratives business, can you give us a number? How much was the volume growth this time? How much has it fallen compared to, say, the preceding quarters?
So volume growth in decorative is almost, you can say, flat, because it depends on the business mix. So, there's a paint, and then there are a lot of new segments like putty segment. So putty growth is a little negative. So overall volume growth is flat.
A larger peer, Mr. Jain, Asian Paints, they reported double-digit volume growth. So this flattish number is something that the street is not too impressed about. But be that as it may, you have also guided for a softish quarter 3. You're sounding quite cautious. Is it, for an industry-wide phenomena, or are you being a little conservative?
So it's an industry phenomena, and secondly, now when we compare, I think the numbers are not comparable, because paint is not only paint now. Paint is divided into paint, putty, new businesses. So how and it's not that every player is playing into each and every field. So if we look at ex putty growth, it is positive. So I think relatively it is not comparable, and industry phenomena, as I said, that during the year, 2 quarters would be good, 2 quarters may not be that good. The sale before Diwali, which is in the month of October, definitely got impacted. The only optimism or positive part could be whether that deferment or people who wanted to paint before Diwali, whether that sale will come back in the market post Diwali. I think we'll have to wait and watch.
Right, but quarter 3, you're saying it could be softish industry-wide phenomena. Margins, that's something that the street will be hoping for, Mr. Jain.
In the decorative, yes, but I think the good run of
autos will continue. Okay, all right. The street will be hopeful that margins improve from here on. Now, you must give us some color out here. How much can it improve going by the cooling off of cost? Maybe for quarter 3, you could give us some bit of an improvement number and some guidance for quarter 4 as well, where I guess bulk of this cost saving could come about. Go ahead.
So the inflation continues. There is that cooling of the raw material prices, but I think the overall inflation continues. And what happens is, like, if you see the auto business where the growth is good, and the supply chain challenges still continues because of geopolitical situation. So obviously we have to keep a little higher inventory to ensure that our services to the customer is not impacted. So I think the impact of cooling off prices would be somewhere reflected in the quarter 4.
Is there a need for more price increases, Anuj? Let's assume raw material prices stay where they are. Is there a need for more price increases? And by when will margins revert to pre-COVID levels?
We have taken almost about 3% price increase.
Yeah.
And I think that the way the trend is there in the raw material prices, I think we'll wait and there's no need to take further price increase. But in automotive, we have taken some price increase and we are definitely working with our customer to get more price increase.
And I mean, given all of this, any broad idea when margins could get back to pre-COVID levels?
So we'll have to see, as you know, that we stated that in decorative we are increasing our investment in marketing and advertising. So it's like some kind of investment, which we are making the decorative. So margins will improve in the industrial side, but to some extent in decorative, the investment what we are increasing. So I think we'll have to see that how does it get resulted into a better revenue.
The issue really is that there's, of course, a lot of competition now kicking into this space, and your market share has been in this single-digit range for a while, right? About 9% or so. Are you doing anything to gain market share, and what are your targets? I mean, any year-end targets that you would have?
So as we have stated earlier also, I think, it's like one has to make a choice that, where exactly you want to increase the share. So as of now, our focus in terms of increasing our mix, so whether it's a decorative business or industrial business, all segments, we are working to increase our mix. So we have been a good player in popular and economy segment, and the premium is one area where we are, trying to increase our market share, and that's what we are looking at.
Okay, all right.
Any targets that you would have in the premium segment? You said you're looking to increase share.
So I won't be able to speak about the target, but the salience in our case was lower than 15% in the premium segment, and while for market it could be higher than 20%. So we are looking at increasing our salience from upward to 15%.
Okay, all right, Mr. Jain, I need to press you a little bit on the margins yet again. Putting everything that you said, give us a number. How much can it improve? Can we work with 100 basis points improvement in Q3 in comparison to Q2?
I think the reflection of the prices you'll be able to see in the Q4. So Q3, as I said, that there would be some pressure in terms of demand. Maybe I'm a little conservative on that, but probably the demand outlook for decorative may not be that good for the Q3. And Q4, the demand outlook is also good, and whatever. Because some volatility we have to keep in mind, like today, if you
Mr.
see
Jain, Jain, you said all of that. See, from around 10.5% odd by Q4, let's leave Q3 aside. As you said, it could be softish for the industry. But should we work with around 12% margins? Can you go back to those levels in Q4? Is it possible?
So generally, we don't give any guidance. So, I would say that I can only give you indicators and that you can read out of it.
All right, Mr. Jain, we leave it at that. Thanks a lot for joining in. I think, that is the disappointment, right? The fact that margins, the decorative paints business in any case has been muted. Margins also have been under pressure. Gross margins are flat. So stock is down about 2.5%.
All thanks to auto, Sonia.
Yes.
For the, which... thanks to autos, because that's a segment which has done well, for them, the industrial segment, auto
saved
segment.
by the autos, especially the electric vehicles and the surge there. But by the way, look at the market, right? The mid-cap index is now picking up a bit of pace, looking quite good. In fact, a lot of stocks are just gaining ground as we speak. Pharma, don't lose sight of names like Alembic Pharma, Piramal Pharma, Max Health, Aster DM, Gland Pharma is coming back after deep cuts, so up almost about 3% odd.